Before you watch any further, I would like to disclose that I am not a professional writer, nor do I have some fancy degree in literature. So, feel free to disregard anything which you don't find to be useful. What does fiction even mean? I have talked to a lot of people who write. Most of them are working on fiction novels. There comes a particular point where they feel stuck in choosing between either a cliche or plot convenience to advance the story. That limitation comes, perhaps, from a poor interpretation of the word fiction. To give you an example, one of my friends was writing a young adult romance novel. There was one part of the story which required the main character to make a huge decision about choosing between two love interests. However, one love interest was not the right fit for the hero of our story. Now, how does the hero get to know about this? He reads the messages, he hears an audio recording, or perhaps the main character is psychic to some degree and gets an intuition. Now, the resistance for the intuition plot point ventures on the fact that it is something supposedly supernatural. But so what? At the end of the day, you're still writing fiction. This one small micro element will not convert your book into a fantasy epic like The Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter. It will still continue to remain a young adult romance. How much emphasis you put upon this one seemingly unrealistic element depends entirely upon you. Your novel could be set in a world identical to ours, with only one exception that in this universe, flying cars exist. Doesn't mean that your novel will become a full blown science fiction. Small hints and clues can seemingly incorporate these micro elements into your novel without making them the focus of the entire story. One of the best examples is the curving bullet scene from the movie Wanted. The screenwriters for the movie innovated an insanely creative method to shoot multiple people at the same time. They did so by bending the laws of physics and creating one hyper realistic element in a film that was otherwise set and confined to the laws of reality as we know them. So, if you are having trouble writing fiction, perhaps you're worrying too much about ensuring that your fictionalized work is grounded too much in the rules of reality as you know them. Moving ahead, now imagine this. Your dog is having a headache. However, he is relentlessly barking, but you don't seem to understand the reason behind it. I wish dogs could speak. And right over there is an idea for your next novel. If Dogs Could Speak, written by so and so. This is a universe of your creation. All of you are gods over here. If it is your will that dogs can speak, then they shall. Forcing yourself to imagine situations which do not exist in the real world is an effective technique to come up with ideas which are completely original and uninspired. Coming up with such an idea is not really that difficult. You just need to catch yourself doing one thing throughout the day, and that is wishful thinking. Many great story ideas and elements for your novels can be found lying in plain sight. These ideas can later be expanded upon and be turned into full blown storylines for your novel. To give you another example, I am driving my vehicle, but I have no space to keep my phone. I wish I could just throw my phone up on the roof of my car and it would stick over there. Right now, I have an idea about a magnetic car roof. I can write a story about how I was the pioneer to introduce magnetic roofs in cars. But now, I have to sit down and expand upon the base plotline. How magnetic roofs perhaps caused radiation that led to severe health complications in people. And now, all of them are suing me. The government has banned my innovation. I am fighting two legal battles while ensuring I do not go bankrupt. From a small piece of wishful thinking, I have developed a full blown storyline for perhaps a future novel. Do not worry yourself with the fact whether the idea is good or not. Every idea needs to be refined before it turns into something truly special. Just make sure that it is unique and that it exploits the infinite boundaries of fiction to its complete extent. Even if the idea born out of your wishful thinking is not good enough to support itself as a standalone story, you can still utilize it in one way or the other as the micro element which we spoke about earlier. The problem with a lot of us is that anything which does not exist in the real world or something which we do not know to exist, we assume that it is impossible. Fiction means anything is possible. I hope the difference between point number one and point number two was clear to all of you. The first point is talking about pushing the boundaries of the fiction that we are creating, the rules, the universe. They do not need to be confined to the reality that we know and experience ourselves. Whereas point number two is about how to think of elements which are supernatural, which are imaginative, and completely original. So these are the two core techniques or tricks or whatever you like to call them, which have always helped me in writing fiction. When I utilize these two techniques, I never run out of things to write, and I'm always able to get out of a jam if I ever find myself in one. So, if any of you utilize these techniques, then kindly provide me feedback and let me know your experience, whether you found this to be helpful or not. Otherwise, if there is any particular point about writing which you want me to address, then please let me know in the comments below, and maybe in the next video, I can address about that element of writing. Thank you for watching.